Ashley Deskins here for Midwest Photo. I am a professional portrait photographer based in Central Ohio, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the new Tamron 17-28 f2.8 lens for Sony E-mount cameras. I'll be using the Sony a7R III to demo this lens and tell you what I really like about it. I wouldn't necessarily pick this lens for myself, and that's because as a portrait photographer, I'm not shooting wide very often unless I'm getting large groups, something really scenic, or if I want to do a dramatic portrait with lots of negative space. But after using this lens, I could definitely see this being a part of my arsenal of lenses. This lens in the city. We're exploring some fun pockets of architecture, cityscapes, anything fun that we could find that would be great to hang in a home or an office. And now this is where the 17-28 is really going to shine, in those interesting angles of familiar places. Like to walk around with this lens, because personally that's the first thing I notice. It's super lightweight. Pick up any other f2.8 lens and you're going to notice how large and heavy it is. Somehow Tamron has managed to cut down on that with some kind of tech magic, I don't know. With the f2.8 lenses, because you have a wider aperture opening, they have to make them with larger glass, which means it's usually heavier and larger lenses. With this lens, I don't have to worry about that. I can walk around downtown all day and no complaints. It's super lightweight. Let's dive a little deeper into my love of 2.8. I admittedly am a bokeh addict. I love soft backgrounds. I love putting focus just on one thing. Now, with this being a wide angle lens, those wide framings are gonna minimize how much of a soft background I can get. However, I have noticed that I have a minimum focusing distance of about 7.5 inches, which is really impressive. So what I'm doing over here is I'm focusing just on this set of leaves while being able to blur out this entire background by dropping my aperture down to f2.8. Now we're in Hayden Falls, a little farther out from the city, but still within Central Ohio. What I want to do today is get a nice wide shot of the falls, but what I want to do is blur the water movement. Typically I'd be using a neutral density filter, and since it is the middle of the day, it is going to be a little bit trickier without it. If you don't have a neutral density filter and you want to get shots like this, I highly recommend getting one. What it's going to do for you is it's going to stop down the light. To get a shot like this, I have to slow my shutter speed, and I don't want to let too much light in, so that's really important to be able to stop down my light so that I can get this shot that I need. But let's go see what we can get today. So the first setting I'm going to change is my shutter speed. I need to slow my shutter speed down because I need to blur that movement. I'm going to change it to 1 second and we're going to try that first. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my aperture. I don't want that much light in because I don't have that neutral density filter. So I'm going to bring it all the way down to f22. The next setting I'm going to change is my ISO. Again, since I don't have that neutral density filter, I want as little light as possible. So I'm going to bring this down to 50. Let's see what we can get. A little bit about wide angle lenses and sharpness. This Tamron 17-28 does a really great job at keeping everything sharp and in focus from edge to edge. Now, if you're not familiar with wide angle lenses, this can be a little bit difficult because of the way the light has to bend and thus the scene onto the camera's sensor. Now imagine seeing just beyond your peripheral and keeping everything 100% in focus. We can't do that because of the natural distortion of light into our eyes. This lens has no problem doing that. One more thing before I concluded, Tamron has yet again demonstrated an incredible focusing speed for their lenses. Not once today did I stop and get frustrated over focus hunting. I was able to stay in focus constantly and accurately as I needed. The focus is perfect. Now I said I wouldn't normally own the Tamron 17-28 lens because of my normal shoots with our portraits. However, after seeing what it can do today and knowing that Tamron continues to offer quality lenses at great prices, I will definitely be indulging in this lens. Thank you and can't wait to see you for the next review.